Hey guys, Cam from 15, back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another Black Clover manga chapter review as we are continuing on with this story that we are getting, man. This story has been something special, and we finally cut over back to the Clover Kingdom, and man, what a chapter. What a chapter. When I first read the unofficial translations, I was just like crazy, and then just going back through it again, I'm still getting the same chills and the same feelings that I had when it comes to reading this series in terms of where the story is going to end off the series. But obviously, um, obviously, Lucius's Judgment Day plan seems a lot more insane than we thought it originally was, and man, I'm definitely gonna be looking forward to see where the story goes. But this is Black Clover manga chapter 354 titled Judgment Day. Now we get a time skip, and we just cut to the day that, well, Lucius's plan is going to into fruition. So that's kind of the thing there. Now, Lucius starts off by talking to some mysterious individuals saying, you know, the day of judgment has come, let's go, and things like that, and it's time for true world peace. Now, we cut over to the Clover Kingdom, and we see practically every Magic Knight squad member we've seen in the entire series pretty much mobilize and get ready to fight up against Lucius and his forces. Now we find out that they evacuated all the citizens to the noble realm, and they tied into pretty much the surrounding their defenses. Now, what that will do, I have no reason. You might as well have just gotten them out of the kingdom, because it's the battlefield. But yeah, we also do find out that the Spade and the Heart kingdoms pretty much are on alert just in case if they get attacked, or I guess if they need to be provided backup and things like that. So obviously, like for the example, we see Yuno's mom, we see Laura Petrica and Gaja, you know, something like that. Now, the Diamond Kingdom, we don't know what's going on there. The Diamond Kingdom has kind of been in mystery with what's been going on there, so we really don't know what's gonna happen. But I won't be shocked if we get a shocking moment where the Diamond Kingdom makes a return, and obviously our allies from that front will maybe try to contribute to that to the fight. So that's kind of the thing there. Now, we also find out that they were also unfortunately unable to track wherever Lucius's whereabouts were at, and pretty much that they are just gonna have to intercept the enemy that attacks with every Magic Knight that they got. Full page spread, pretty much all the Magic Knight squads in the Clover Kingdom pretty much rearing up for a fight right then and there. So yes, now before the fighting starts and all the craziness in this chapter starts, we get pretty much a conversation between Charlotte and Yami, and practically Charlotte's like, hey, I'm sorry I've been avoiding you this entire time because of my feelings for you and things like that. And obviously she's like, that's the only thing I want to say. And Yami's like, okay, well, you didn't have to say that, but alright, fine, go right ahead. Now, he's like, you know what, how about after this fight, we just go get some tea, because there's something I need to tell you. And obviously she's like, okay, when we win, I'll listen to what you have to say. Now, before I continue on, it's funny because when I read that moment in the chapter, I was like, oh god, no. They're already doing the death flags already, if not, I know, maybe confirming a potential death. Now, if you're new to the series for some obscene reason, or the reason why you're just watching this out of the blue, but whatever, if you know the tropes of certain anime types of structures before a very big battle, whether it's just a big battle or it's like a final battle of a final arc to end off a series or something like that. And this even goes in like several other shows too, like regular American shows too. It's always that thing where a character will say, well, there's something I gotta tell you, but it can wait after we handle this situation. And typically, if there's anything to do with death or if there's anything to do with like a fight or a battle or anything, typically the one mold that we typically always see in these types of shows is usually the character dies before they get to say what they need to tell said other character. Which, now the death flags are up. Now, the death flags are definitely been up for Yami. They've been up for Yami since he got captured by the Zagratis siblings back at the early parts of the Spade Kingdom arc. And I know there was a lot of people that were upset in the last arc that they didn't kill off Yami because they thought he should have died, but you know, that's the whole thing. Now, we potentially could be getting the foreshadowing of Yami's death. With the fact that we got a lot of development about Yami in the last little mini arc. Ichika more than likely is going to probably have a reuniting with her brother. And it'd be just crazy emotional if that gets taken away from her. And then two, the man that obviously Charlotte loves, she won't get to hear what he has to say. What that could be, maybe it's Yami finally confessing his feelings and reciprocating his feelings back. I don't know. You know, to be honest, she's, other than his Black Bull members and certain Magic Knight squad captains, and you know and obviously the Black Bulls, and then her, he really has nobody else to trust. Most of his, I guess you could say, two of his most trusted allies in Vengeance, who he's still shaky with after the incident with the Elf Reincarnation arc stuff. You know, that kind of hurt him. And then obviously with Lucius / Julius, I guess, in a way, betraying them. It looks, this definitely hurts him. So, you know, obviously, maybe he confesses. I don't know. It was never explained or never shown if Yami ever reciprocated the feelings Charlotte always gave him. But who knows? Maybe he does. That is, if he lives. Now, also, too, this could also present death flags for Charlotte as well. Because she's a character that's waiting here, and who knows? She might end up being the one to die, and Yami lives, and Yami won't be able to tell her what he was going to say. And then typically, if she dies, well, it would typically be the scene where Yami holds her dead body, and then he would say, like, what he was going to tell her, which is only going to hit harder. But I feel like one of the two characters are going to die. Just honestly, Tabata, I feel like he's got to this point in this story where we're gonna see a major death. We're going to see somebody majorly die. So far, the leading candidates right now are Yami and Charlotte, more than likely, and things like that. Obviously, Julius is another case, because you would have to think maybe the thing is to kill Lucius. You're gonna have to kill Julius. So that's kind of the thing there. But that presents major death flags there with that Yami Charlotte conversation there, and I'm not looking forward to see where that goes. But then we cut over to Jack talking about how he wants to slash people up. Next thing you know, we have Lucius appear behind him, and he's like, "Hello there," you know. Yes, not saying it like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but whatever. And then all of a sudden, we have this character spawn behind him that looks like Noct. And when I was reading this chapter, I was like, hold on a second. He got to Noct already? What the hell's been going on? Can I get some freaking flashbacks here? Now, I will say somewhat of a partial negative. I know they didn't want to waste time. Tabata didn't want to waste time with, I guess, some filler chapters just before getting into the fight. But I kind of do wish they kind of delve in a little bit more into the preparation for this upcoming day to fight against Lucius and his forces. I kind of do wish they did that. Like maybe a chapter and then you leave off on the cliffhanger that you leave off on. But then again, what am I saying? I'm thinking like, oh, this is stupid. They got 40 pages. No, they only got 17 pages, whatever. But that's kind of the thing. But this character looks like Noct. I'm like, oh god, he got to Noct already? What if he got several Magic Knights and turned him over to his side? You know? But all of a sudden, next panel, we see a freaking Jack's hand gets cut off, and then he has a whole hole through his chest, man. And we find out, no, that's not Noct, because Noct has different magic. We find out that this person uses light magic, and Yami is shocked because then we know who it is, and that's Morgan, Noct's brother. And pretty much Morgan is like, hello, Yami. It's been quite a while, I assume. Then we cut over to what the Marileona and her brother are going up against, and pretty much they're going up against this one paladin that's got a bunch of freaking like arms, and he goes on to say, anyone who falls to me is fortunate. Before you were reborn, you'll help to advance the evolution of sorcery studies. So maybe this guy's some sort of sorcerer. I don't know what this guy's magic is, but it seems really complex and pretty interesting, strange, and things like that. So yeah, so Marileona looks hyped to fight, so that's kind of thing. Then we cut over to the Silva siblings. This moment got me shocked the most out of all of them. Out of all the returns, Morgan was definitely like a close second where I didn't see coming. This one I did not see coming whatsoever. My jaw literally dropped and I had to put down my phone when I was reading the chapter, and I was just like, oh man. So we see the Silva twins pretty much have these like shocked like expressions of dismay. You turn the next page and they are confronted none other by their mother, Osier Silva, and she pretty much is saying, who'd have thought I get to fight you like this? And obviously Nozel is freaking shocked at this. You know, this might be the one fight Nozel won't even be able to freaking fight. He might just be like, he just might be so shocked he can't move. It would be like that, crap. It'd be like that moment when Frieza fought Vegeta, where after Vegeta thought he was a Super Saiyan, and pretty much, you know, Frieza deflected this easy energy attack. Vegeta was just frozen in fear, and he just couldn't move, and he didn't do anything. Or it's like how when it was revealed who Dobby truly was, Endeavor was just absolutely shocked, and he couldn't move one bit. I feel like Nozel's gonna probably have that moment. Now, this is an interesting dynamic because now you got the Silva twins having to fight their own mother, which, that's effed up, man. That is effed up. We already know the connections that their mother has with, you know, Magicula and the Zagratis siblings and things like that. It is messed up that Lucius did this. Man, Lucius straight up said, no. We're gonna get personal up in here. He's making personal things, man. He's already made a personal and it was already said in the last few chapters, the last chapter or even the chapter before that, that practically Lucius's plans are, it's that crazy, that it's that insane that he's gonna have this crazy power, and he's gonna be able to bring people back from the dead, basically, which is wild. Which, funny enough, I saw somebody else review this series and they made the good point. Well, who's another pretty important dead character we saw in the past? That's obviously Lichita, Asta's biological mother, and as well as you can say Libe's mother as well. When that moment hits, when Asta eventually returns before he fights Lucius, that's more than likely gonna be the fight. Before Asta fights Lucius, he's gonna have to fight against his own biological mother, and that's gonna be crazy. Shit, for crying out loud, he could have brought back Asta's biological father. Crazy. He could bring back Yuno's dad, because I think Yuno's father got killed, from what I remember. I'm telling you, any character that had died in this series literally can now come back to life now. Any character that has died in this series can come back to life. And I think we're going to get a lot of reveals of characters we've seen die in this series practically come back. And it's going to be absolutely insane. Shit, you know, all those elf characters from the elf reincarnation arc that died, they could probably be brought back as paladins. Crazy, 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 crazy. Chapter ends off with this kid looking up at the sky, telling him like, hey, look at the sky, there's angels. And you just get this full spread page of a bunch of paladins with angel wings practically flying over the Clover Kingdom, and obviously you have like these light shining down. Listen, Tabata must have read the Book of Revelations from the Bible. Jeez Louise, man, because he's getting like these freaking judgment, end of times, freaking stuff. Listen, I like from what I'm getting here, but you know, obviously Lucius is, I guess you can deem him called the Antichrist pretty much in this whole situation right here. And he pretty much says, and now let us bring happiness to this world. But this chapter was absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10 chapter by far with all the reveals. If you're wondering why the Black Bull members aren't there, they're probably still out looking for Asta. That's my only guess. So crazy enough thing is, it seems like our Magic Knight characters are gonna have to try to hold off the Lucius and his forces, but it ain't looking good, man. And it definitely looks like we're gonna get Noelle versus freaking her mother, Aussier, dude. That's going to be a wild fight, man. That's gonna be a wild fight. And it's funny because even in the same review I listened to somebody else, he made a good point saying, well, you know, it's kind of karma for the Silva twins for always teasing Noelle about the reason about blaming her for their mother's death. Now they're gonna have to fight practically their dead deceased mother, and they, in a way, it's kind of like judgment for what they did to Noelle. Again, most you know, Noelle obviously changed for the better, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see where this whole thing goes. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I enjoyed this episode. This episode was great, and I definitely can't wait to see more Black Clover content. But if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter for Black Clover, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Black Clover content or any other anime or manga content of the series or any other series that I upload to the channel. Till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day. Peace.